Welcome everyone to another episode of Tutorial Tuesday. It is week 33, 2019. I'm glad that you're along with us. This week I don't have any announcements. The questions that we have on tap are pretty in depth, so I want to jump right into those. But first, I just want to take a moment and thank each and every one of you for tuning in and sharing these Tutorial Tuesdays and making them the best that they can be. So thanks for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. Let's get into your questions. Great question here. The quick answer is my favorite camera is the one that I have in my hand, and that could either be my phone or it could be my DSLR. From the practical side of things, I use a Canon 5D Mark III and IV, and then I generally speaking, I use my 70-200 on my 5D Mark IV and my 16-35 on my 5D Mark III. And that'll vary depending on what I'm doing if I need to download some images right away. There are times where I'll put my 16-35 on my 5D Mark IV, and it just depends on the job that I'm on. Primarily with the 5D Mark IV, I like to be able to download the images right away and share something with my client. Now, in my experience with the Canon 5D Mark IV, it's not just the ability to hook up a Wi-Fi network, and download images directly from the camera to my phone. It's also the ability to focus in low light with that Mark IV that really helps. So what I was saying was the ability to focus in low light with a 5D Mark IV goes a long ways for me. Other than that, the dynamic range with the camera is phenomenal as well. So hope that helps. Before we get in depth on lighting, what I'll tell you is I offer online tutorials. I can take you through a lighting course. If you'd like to do that, go ahead and shoot me a direct message. Be more than happy to set you up with an appointment. Let's talk about in-depth lighting. When I'm dealing just with natural light and I don't augment that with artificial light, the first things that I look for are directional light. And what I mean by that is I look for structures that I can put people in to get them out of that direct, harsh light. So a barn, for example, I can open up that door, place my subject in maybe 2 to 3 feet, where the light's going to be the most beautiful and the background is just going to drop into a nice dark black. Number two with with natural light is look for bounce light. And in the equine world, we have horse trailers, and those horse trailers usually come in white or silver, and that turns into one big reflector for us. Even the trailer itself, if you place somebody in there, you're creating directional lighting. It's really beautiful. You wouldn't think that, but place somebody in there 2 to 3 feet and take a picture of them there. Then past that, look for light quality and look for light quantity as well, and we can go into those in the tutorials as well. So I hope that helps you. The quick answer to this question is yes, absolutely. I considered the f4 version, but to be quite honest with you, I need faster glass, and what I mean by that is I do need the f2.8 version of this lens because it's one stop faster or lets in more light than the f4 version. And for the work that I do with this lens, if I'm photographing a wedding or something like that, I do need that 2.8. I do need that glass that's going to allow more light to come down the barrel of the lens. And when we're talking about, since it is Tutorial Tuesday, when we're talking about f2.8 versus f4, what we're talking about is one stop of light. And to get there, if we start at f2.8 and we go 3 clicks, 1, 2, 3, we get to f4, and that's one stop of light. Now, our cameras are set up in third stop increments, so that's why we do that 1, 2, 3 click, and it's one stop of light. And what we're doing is we're either adding or subtracting light to or from our image. Out on location, you don't really notice it as much as you do when we're artificially lighting in studio. Then you would see a drastic change in the reduction or addition of light. So I hope that helps you. Well, this is an easy one and not very in-depth, but this is a Burns hat out of Salina, Utah. Go ahead and check them out. What a fabulous question. Thanks so much for asking, Hannah. What I would tell you is this. Under the driven part, that definitely has to do with my wife. Without her, without our partnership in our business, I don't think that I could stay motivated. And I know the other, the opposite of that is true for her as well. We literally both work back to back. in the studio, and she goes out and works on her side of the business, and then I'm doing mine. So between her and I, we both stay driven in our business. Now, unique and authentic in terms of photography, the things that come to mind for me are just be yourself. Stop creating images that you think other people will like, and start creating images that you like. Be unique to your own voice, and that takes a while to develop. It takes a while to learn what you love to photograph and also what you don't love to photograph. So being unique and being authentic really comes down to listening and being true to your own voice. So thank you so much for asking that question. What is my full name? Just look at my profile. It's on there. Or even look at my Facebook page. You can see my full name. Okay, well, I'll post a couple pictures of the last ride that I was on. We were chasing down some coyotes and just having a dang good time. Because I can ride on a horse certainly doesn't mean that I'm a horseman by any stretch of the imagination. Find what you love. If that's photographing landscapes or nature or wildlife or your friends, whatever that is, find what you love to do, quit looking for other filters, and start developing your own voice. Presets, yeah, I definitely do use presets, and I build my own based on the conditions that I shoot in and also the locations that I shoot in. I do have them available for purchase as well, so let me know if you'd like that.